Which is the better deal? 3 notebooks for rupees 45 or 5 notebooks for rupees 80? Once you know ratios, you will answer this in under 10 seconds. No calculator needed. Stick around because by the end of this video, that's exactly the kind of question you will be able to crack instantly. Hello everyone, welcome back to Quantum Math. Today we are going to start a brand new chapter, ratio and proportion. It sounds simple, but it hides some of the sneakiest board exam questions. Let's build the foundation properly. Let's start with this basic question: what is a ratio? If A and B are two non-zero quantities of the same kind in the same units, then the fraction A/B is called the ratio A to B, or simply you can say A is to B. So this is a ratio, another form of fraction. So here A is to B, A and B must be same kind and same unit. This is very important. These two big conditions are same kind of quantity and same units. You can compare rupees to rupees and kilograms to kilograms. You cannot compare kilograms to pounds or some other unit. So that's why it should be of the same kind. First of all, if you are having currency, the other should also be a currency. If it is rupees, this should also be rupees. You cannot compare dollar versus rupees. Kind will be same, but unit is different. Then again, you cannot compare the ratio. So you must follow these two conditions whenever you are forming a ratio. So there is no ratio between them. Different kinds can't be compared this way. Okay, before writing any ratio in any exam, silently check whether it's of same kind, same unit. If not, then you have to convert it first. For example, if minutes are given and you are comparing against hours, then what you do, you change either of them into minutes or hours, make them same, then you compare and find the ratio. Okay, understood? Good. So before writing any ratio in the exam, you have to check same kind, same unit. And the most important property of ratio is A is to B, which is MA multiplied by MB, which is A over M is to B over M for any non-zero M. What does it mean? Okay, before discussing about the most important property of a ratio, first know what are the terms of a ratio. What are the terms of ratio? If you are writing A is to B, the first term is the antecedent. Okay, antecedent. The second term is known as the consequent. Antecedent and consequent. Antecedent always comes first, consequent always comes second. Order matters completely. For example, 3:5 is not equal to 5:3. Understand? So order is always important. So there is a common mistake here. Students often flip the order when translating a word problem into a ratio. So this problem occurs mostly in word problems. So always ask which quantity is mentioned first in the question. That is your antecedent. Understood? Great. Now talking about the most important property of ratio. So this form, this is exactly why 2:4, 1:2, 50:100, all are same ratios. All these are same ratios. Why? Because we can see a common number which can divide them, all of them. So that's why this property of ratio is very important. So whenever a question in a question you feel stuck, you have to ask, can I multiply or divide both the sides by something to simplify this? Most of the times that is the first move you have to make. For example, if you have got 50 is to 100, definitely you can divide it by 50 and you will get 1 is to 2. 1 is to 2 is far more simpler than 50 is to 100, correct? So that's why you have to make the ratios simple, simplify them before getting into the problem. Got it? So switch the term, this is known as reducing a ratio to the lowest terms. So ratio in its lowest term when the two terms have no common factor other than 1. No common factor other than 1. To get there, divide both of them by the highest common factor. For example, how to reduce a fraction? You know it very well. We have done it earlier also. For example, 32 is to 40. 32 is to 40 is the ratio given. So what is the HCF we have got? What is the highest common factor? Is 8, because 32 and 40 both of them are divisible by 8. That's why we can divide it by 8. So here 32 by 8, 40 by 8. So the reduced ratio is how much? 4 is to 5. Now can I reduce it further? No. This is the lowest term and they don't have any common factor other than 1. That's why this ratio is now reduced to the lowest or the simplest form. Got it? So simple, when both terms are already whole numbers in the same unit, but most exam questions give you mixed units and that's the real skill, right? So if the units are not same, then you have to convert into same unit, then you compare them. So let's solve one problem here. This is an exercise problem and it says find the ratio between ratio between 60 paise and rupees 1.35. Rupees 1.35. Okay, before jumping into the solution mode, I want to tell you one thing here. What does it specify? What does it imply here? 4 is to 5. What is the ratio saying here? For example, the ratio of cats to dogs is 1 is to 3 in the city. So how many cats are there? 1. How many dogs are there? 3, right? So it doesn't mean that in the whole city only 1 cat is there and 3 dogs are there. It means for every 3 dogs we have 1 cat. Understood? That's why we are reducing it. We can't just write 1,35,000 and 315 cats are there and then multiply it by 3 and getting 4,05,000 something dogs, right? So if we are finding, if you are saying the ratio 1 is to 3, it means that for every 3 dogs there is 1 cat in the city. Just to simplify things, we are using ratios. Okay, so find the ratio between 60 paise and rupees 1.35. First of all, what is the important thing what we have discussed? The same kind and same unit. We have to check. Same kind, yes, money. Unit, same? No. Unit are not same. Paise and rupees, both are different. So we need to first change it to paise. Make it simple. 60 paise is to 135 paise. Now both are in same units. Now what we can do, we can divide both of them by which number? 5, or you can find the HCF. HCF will be 15. You can directly divide by 15 or you can do it by steps. First divided by 5, then whatever, you can do it. Okay. So directly I will divide by 15. I know HCF is 15, 4 times and 9 times. Further can I divide? No. So 4 is to 9 is the ratio. Understood? Great. Now, second problem, convert 1.5 kg, find the ratio between 1.5 kg and 600. 1.5 kg and 600 grams. So Whatever is first, we have to write fast. You can't take 600 grams first and then 1.5 kg. So first convert 1.5 kg into grams. So you will get 1500 grams is to 600. So first of all, directly you can divide, cancel two zeros, 15 is to 6. 15 is to 6 both come in 3 table, 5 is to 2, right? 5 is to 2. This is the ratio. Understood? Great. Then okay, now what you do, you pause the video here and first check what I am giving you problem, then pause the video and write the answers in comment. 1.8 meters and 75 centimeters. What will be the answers? What will be the ratio between these two? Pause the video and write the answer in the comment box. I will check. Okay, moving on. Ratios involving fractions. Sometimes the terms of a ratio are themselves fractions, like for example 1 by 2 and 1 by 3. These are the. So how will you handle this? So first we need to multiply both of them by the LCM of the denominators. Okay, for example, for such problem, what will you do? Multiply by LCM of the denominators. LCM, least common multiple of the denominator. So 2 and 3, what is the LCM? Definitely you will get 6. LCM is how much? 6 of the denominator, not the numerator. So multiply them. So what you will get? 6 multiplied by 1, 6 multiplied by 3. This becomes 3 is to 2. This is a ratio. Understood? This trick, multiply by LCM of denominators, will come back later in this chapter when we combine ratios like not A is to B, we will combine 3. A is to B is to C. So remember this well, how to use them. Understood? Now, a real life hook. Now let's go back to our opening question. 3 notebooks. I said 3 notebooks of 45 rupees costing rupees 45, or 5 notebooks costing 80 rupees. Which is the better deal? Which is the better deal in both of them? For we need to find out the ratios here. First one, deal 1, price per notebook. Price per notebook will be 45 for how many? You are paying for 3. So this will become 15 is to 1, which means rupees 15 for 1 notebook. Here 5 is to 80, which means dividing by 5 you will get, sorry, it is to 5. It is to 5 is how much? 16 is to 1. So you are paying how much? 16 rupees for getting 1 notebook. So which deal is better? This deal is better because you are paying less here. So deal 1 is cheaper. That's ratio thinking in action. This is the exact skill shopkeepers hope you don't have. So what you do, this is unitary method definitely, but for more complex problems also you can use this and get which trick is and compare the ratios. Ratios are important when you are comparing different things. Okay, so now this is a homework problem. Find the ratio between 1 is to 8 meter and 75 centimeter. There are 4 problems I have given. Write these problems, try to solve them, get the answers and drop your answers in the comment box. I will read every single one. Okay, today you have learned what a ratio really is, its 2 terms, the golden property that lets you scale ratios freely, and how to reduce any ratio to the lowest terms. In the next video, we will go a little up the level, combining and comparing multiple ratios and cracking A's to B's to C problems. If this helped, like it, subscribe it, and I'll see you in the next video.